Joe Rezadak, publisher of Loft Life magazine, and today we're going to be reviewing the Novara Flyby. The Novara Flyby folding bike is a pretty unique specimen on the streets. You're not going to have a bike like this that's going to look like anybody else's. There's pluses and there's minuses to folding bikes, and I'm going to go through some of the subtle and not so subtle features of this one today. First of all, you'll notice that the seat post is disproportionately tall. It looks a lot different than other seat posts on regular bikes. And part of the deal with that is a cool feature. It's a thumb lock right there, and the seat post comes out. And what Novara did is they engineered this bike pump, and this is pretty much what sells the bike itself. Is a bike pump folds right out of the bottom here, and a tube comes out, and this part screws on to your tire and allows you to sort of pump up your bike. The additional features that they built into this that are kind of smart are the chain mechanism here, where instead of having a chain guard to get your pants caught in, they just sort of made the crank have a cover on it, which does a really good job of not snagging your pants. So I ride this to work every day, and it's pretty hard to get any kind of pants stuck in here. What happens more than not is your pants will get stuck on the pedal, if anything, but I haven't had any pairs of pants have to go in the garbage because they get sucked up into a greasy chain. One of the things they added was the Shimano Red Label Nexus gear set back here. And if you notice, there's no dangling part back here. There's no thing hanging off where you normally change gears. It looks very much like a single speed bike, but all the gears are actually tucked into this big hub mechanism. And what that allows is when you're in like 5th grade and you're riding your bike to school and someone said, "Oh, I'm going to strip your gears." Well, with this kind of thing, you can just crank through the gears and go from 4 to 5 to 1. And all it's doing is moving a pin through the different gear mechanisms and allowing the wheel to change gears. So you don't actually have to be moving when you shift gears. Okay, I think this is an ideal bike for the person that lives in smaller space, has to access stairs or elevators frequently, or has to store their bike at their office. I ride the bike every day to work. There's obvious benefits to that. First, I get my heart rate up right before I get to work, which is great. So I get 2 miles of riding in every day and 2 miles of riding out. The convenience is huge. So the Novara REI Buzz Flyby, the bike that has 5 or 6 names, I give it a 10 for practicality in the city. You're not going to find a bike that's more practical than this. I give it a 9 for durability so far, with only having marks coming down for one part that I had to replace and the stem on the handlebar, which seems to need to get tightened up about every week or so, but not a huge deal. I think that the pros far outweigh the cons, and I'm definitely going to stick with this bike.